going?
It's going.
Yeah, good.
Had a little break there, Chuck. Marito called me. We talked through his lunch break.
Well, you probably needed a break anyway.
I needed one.
Oh, it's not as big as I thought it would be. Big enough, but I figured it'd be humongous.
Well, it's big enough.
Don't, it looks like you're denting it some.
Just scratching the maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, it sounds like it's pouring. Gotta let her in.
yeah. Okay, it's all the way on the pallet jack, and the boss lady just brought me a bottle of water and a Diet Coke. So I have my choice of refreshment, and I think at this point I'm going to take a break. It's not a wonderful day to throw all this stuff outside. It's all this stuff, all this wood. But it's raining out there, kind of like the proverbial cow in the flat rock. So anyway, you guys take a little nap now. Well, the boss lady came out and discussed it with me, and we think that's a good spot for it over against that wall there. And then I can take that plasma torch, set it down on the ground, and move it down here by the garage door, and it can just sit here permanently. All I got to do is put some adjustable wheels on it so I can move it around and level it and stuff like that. But I think that's where the little mill's going to sit, right there. It'll be precisely right there. Not a bad spot for Precision Matthews. UPS brought the power drawbar just a while ago, and so it's not already installed, so I'll have to install it myself. So that'll make a video all by itself. That should be a reasonably complicated job. And anyway, I still hadn't got this thing off the pallet jack and sitting on the floor. But a lot of credit goes to Jorian Khan. You know the old thing about teach a man to fish, you know. Well, he taught me the right way to move a big mill, so now for the rest of my life I can move big mills, or at least until I get too decrepit and feeble, which thankfully is not yet. Alright, you see the setup there with these two big ones in the middle? They've got to come out of there. I got some on the corners to take the load. So I'll show you what I did on the other end. I came down here, pried it up with one hand, pulled the pieces out with the other one. Worked out just fine. So now I can go around to the other end, get the big pieces out, and maybe after that I can just use the pallet jack on one end and roll it around, hook it onto the other, and make it all come out real easy. Probably not. It's probably too tall. But anyway, I can get them out, prying it up and pulling a little bit out at a time. Alright, so I've got it down a little further, both ends. But I think it's come to the point where it's time to ask the boss lady to pull the pieces of wood out for me. And I don't know if she's up yet. And I don't know what kind of mood she's in, so I'm going to knock this off till I find out that little bit of information. Alright, I'll pry up this end and have the boss lady pull the wood chips out of there. And it'll be all the way down on the floor. Okay. Whoops. Did I get caught or not? No, I didn't. Good enough, thank you. That's Oh, wonderful. It's sitting on the floor. I didn't turn it over or drop it or break anything. That makes me feel good. Alright, so now I'm going to scoot it around where I want it. I'm just going to take this little pry bar and get under the other end and just pry it a couple inches or an inch at a time or a half inch, however little bit it'll go, and I'll move it to where I want it. Well, Chuck and I discussed using the Lipton method of moving this stuff, which is use some wedges made out of 4x4s. And I didn't have but one 4x4, and that wasn't enough to get 4 wedges. It was just a little short guy. So I spent, an hour and a half or so trying to cut this pallet up and get the wedges, there's some 3x4s in it to cut wedges with. And when I finally got those out, I tried to run them on my bandsaw and the blade kept jumping off, and I decided it was just too frustrating to do. So I found some thinner pieces of wood to put under there and pulled them out, about an inch worth at a time. And it came down pretty gentle. There wasn't a lot of thumping and banging or nothing, and it made it all the way to the floor too, as you can see. So now I'll just put the pry bar under it and move it around where I want it. Okay, so you've seen how the moving around is going to work to the final resting place. There's no use me keeping the camera running because I'm going to stop and take breaks real often. Old geezers get winded easy. Alright, that's its home for now. It's where it's going to be, and I've got to crank the head up where it's upright and clean all the oil and grease and dirt and stuff off of all the ways and everything, and get an electrical plug for it because they sent the wires without them being plugged into anything. So, well, I say the one bare end on it. How's that? Does that sound better? Anyway, I've got to do all that squaring away, and I'm not going to do any video of that. That's just boring work. And then I'll put the collet tightener, the automatic collet tightener on it, and I'll make a video of that. So that's the end of this one. We'll have to go see if Bubba or Oldie or some other unfortunate soul is around to give us a joke. So this fella, he was driving down in Louisiana there. He had to stop and get some gas. And he's standing there with gas pumping in his car, drinking a Coke, looking down the road. He sees Boudreaux over there digging holes. About 25 feet behind him, there's Bubba shoveling dirt in those holes, And so he got curious about that, and he went over there to Boudreaux, and he says, "Hey," he says, "just what are you guys doing?" Boudreaux says, "Well," he says, "no, we work for the county." He says, and what you don't understand, he says, "Normally it's me and Mike and Bubba working here, but Mike's sick today." He says, "But what happens is that I dig the hole, Mike puts the tree in it, and Bubba shovels the dirt back in." He says, that's the way it works. And Bubba pipes up, "Yeah," he says, "you don't expect us to lay off work just 'cause Mike ain't here." Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.